All right, does every quadratic function, so this is in standard form, ax squared plus bx plus c, have x-intercepts? If yes, prove it. So when we have x-intercepts, that is when y is equal to 0. If we're trying to show whether they have x-intercepts, we can solve for x when y is 0. So we could use our function at 0, ax squared plus bx plus c. If I set y equal to 0, that's going to help me solve for my x-intercepts. It's easy when it's in factored form, but when it's in standard form right here, the only way to solve for your x-intercepts is by using the quadratic formula. So the quadratic formula states x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And that'll help us solve for our x-intercepts. So we'll get a value here where x is some, we can call it some value, I don't know. We can call it alpha and 0, and then we may have a beta and 0. Those would be our x-intercepts. But do we always have x-intercepts is the big question. Is there always a guarantee that we could have x-intercepts? There's a couple different options. Well, here's one quadratic function that has 2 x-intercepts. Here's another quadratic function that has no x-intercepts. And here's the last one that has only one x-intercept. Okay, so the question is, where did we get the alpha and the beta? The alpha and the beta just come from our x-intercept form. And that's if your function is factorable, then we could factor it and identify our x-intercepts. Not every case will have a function that we can factor. So if we did not have a factorable function, so if we had this standard form and we could not factor it, we would have to use the quadratic formula. Okay? So to get 2 solutions or 2 x-intercepts, now you want to think about your quadratic formula. How can you get 2 solutions or 2 x-intercepts? How would we get 2 answers to this problem here? Well, since we have a plus or minus, we just want some value to happen with b squared minus 4ac. If we get that to be a number, then we have a plus or minus a number. Is that okay?
Yeah. So if it's positive?
So if it's greater than 0, then we have 2 solutions.
Oh.
If it's a positive number.
Is that for like all things?
What do you mean?
Like if it's always greater than 0, then it will always have 2 solutions.
Yeah, if this whole value right inside here, if that is greater than 0, you'll get some number. And the 2 solutions come from this plus or minus. Yep, and that's why you get plus a number or minus a number, so that's why the 2 solutions happen. To get no solutions, you would have to have b squared minus 4ac. How would we get no solutions from our quadratic formula? Yeah.
You would have to do, it would have to, oh my gosh, be less than 0.
It'd have to be less than 0. It has to be a negative. This is when it's less than 0. So if I calculated this and I got a negative number, b squared minus 4ac, you can't have a negative square root. So it ends up with no solution. And to get one solution,
Equals 0.
yeah, we want b squared minus 4ac to equal 0. So there's our 3 possibilities. And because this number underneath the square root is so special, it has a name called the discriminant. So b squared minus 4ac is the discriminant. That identifies whether you'll have 1 solution, 2 solution, or 3 solutions, or no solutions. And where those solutions happen. If it's 2x intercepts, 0x intercepts, or 1.